Night on the game show, we talk about our favorite game demos of all time. We've all experienced it as gamers, downloading that new demo before the game's out, or just the old days getting a disc, but playing a game before it's time, or just playing a game when we don't have afford to play it at the time. Great memories throughout the years. Let's check them out. What's up? This is BreakmanX, and welcome to the game show on January 28th, 2026. And by the way, I got the date wrong. I was watching the show. We went back to 2025 a show or two ago, so I apologize for the time travel. But we are back in 2026. And with that said, Jack, how are you doing in 2026?
I'm doing great. Delivering a lot of packages virtually still.
Nice. Nice. And walking down mountains, right?
Yes. Walking up mountains, walking down mountains, surfing on coffins. It's amazing.
Nice. Nice. And Logan, how are you doing this evening?
Doing good. Yeah, I played a little Balloons Tower Defense 5 before we got on the show here tonight.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you pop on Subnautica.
Yeah, that's been fun. My brother and I have been messing with the Nitrox multiplayer mod, which works surprisingly well. I'm impressed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's still in alpha.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, welcome to the game show tonight, everyone. If you'd like to interact, please leave a comment here below on the YouTube comments. I will read them throughout the week if you're not watching live. There's apparently an issue right now with YouTube and showing channels going live or not. So there's like an alert on my studio that there's an issue with that. So hopefully that's not going to affect us. But if not, you're watching it later during the week, and that is awesome as well. Also, you can go to BreakmanX.com and join our Discord. And of course, like, subscribe, and click that bell. Do that now.
We have a bell?
Yeah, there's like a bell, and then you can get all the notifications.
Oh, yeah, there is a bell. Hey, how about that?
Yeah, YouTube wants them to ring the bell. So if you like us, do that. But since 2002, the game show is a celebration of video games and our collective interest, mixed with a healthy dose of humor. Tonight we're a little short-handed. We got some sickness going on, but Maul will be swooping in once he's allowed by his overlord. And and with that, Jack, let's head into our opening discussion.
Yeah, let's get into it. There's a lot of stuff. Well, there is some stuff going on in the world of video games, and there's not. It's a weird period, but I had a lot of interesting news this past week. So, number one, if you didn't realize, the Virtual Boy Virtual Console comes out next week if you've got Nintendo Switch Online and you forked over either the $100 or the $30 for the plastic shell of the Virtual Boy for your Nintendo Switch 2 to slide into.
Did any of you get a Virtual Boy to slide into? Are you going to?
I did not. I have not had that particular brand of sickness yet.
Yeah, me either.
I played the original Virtual Boy. I don't need to live that again.
Yeah, I feel that it's one of those things. It was not good. It was
a time and place. Have you watched? There's a YouTube channels like Slow Mo Guys or something like that. Have you watched the video on how the Virtual Boy actually worked and like what the actual resolution of the original Virtual Boy actually was?
No, but it sounds fascinating. Yeah. It sounds fascinating.
It's amazing. You should watch it. It's essentially it's 1 by 1. Like it is literally 1 pixel. And the way that Gunpei Yokoi figured out how to get it to work was essentially just they made it basically shutter. Like the refresh rate was so high on it that they literally could just show using filters in the Virtual Boy headset. They could make the images show on the screen, but it was just 1 pixel. That's it. Like
that is astounding.
It's ridiculous.
I have got to see that video because I'm like not even completely understanding it. I'm gonna have to, I think, watch the video to see how they would do that with 1 pixel. That's astounding. Gunpei Yokoi, man, what a dude! Like he did so much amazing things, going all the way back to the Master Hand, Nintendo's first product that was successful under Yamauchi. So yeah. Too bad he died under suspicious circumstances.
Yeah. Indeed. But anyway, so they kind of announced the initial launch slate of games and all the other games that are be coming out. I mean, essentially they'll have the entire library of the Virtual Boy out by the end of the year. But notably, they also announced that they're going to release 2 unreleased Virtual Boy games when that thing comes out: Zero Racer and D Hopper. Don't know a whole bunch about D Hopper, but Zero Racer looks like it's somewhere between like a Mario Kart and an F-Zero type racing game, so should be interesting. Like, you know, I don't know what to expect from it. I don't think it's probably going to be like Star Fox 2 levels of polish, but you know, we'll see what they come out. Like anything new for the Virtual Boy could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be fun. I mean, you can play it on the regular Switch, right? Without the fancy schmancy attachment.
I think you have to have the attachment.
What? I would play it if you could play it on the actual Switch. Maybe there'll be an update later so you could do that, because I don't want to get the scary hood.
But I want to say I remember understanding you had to purchase that to get that.
Yeah,
but I'll double check here in a little bit.
I think you're right. That's what I remembered too. It was more wishful thinking.
But also in other Nintendo news, a Walmart ad looks like it has leaked the next 2 GameCube games for the Nintendo Switch Online service on Switch 2. Nice. For all you sequel fans out there, Pikmin 2 and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes are going to be coming to the service here pretty soon. They don't have dates, but they were in the ad, so I assume that Walmart at least had the goods, or Nintendo, whatever. Like they probably just published it early. They shouldn't have done so.
There's a couple interesting things about those 2. Pikmin 2, there's a remake of Pikmin 2 on Switch, or a remaster. So interesting that they're doing that one. Yeah. And then Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, people were saying, oh, there's no way that they're going to do a remaster of that because they're releasing it for GameCube. But Pikmin 2 has a remaster. So, you know, maybe it's the same thing. I'm kind of doubtful. I'm doubtful that they're going to do it. But I think it's possible.
Yeah. And
partly cloudy.
We'll see. I'm kind of excited to see, like, you know, when Pikmin 2 does come out, how it actually works. It'll
be interesting to compare. I mean, I've seen, I haven't played the remasters, but I've seen videos of them, and the resolution just for me is a little bit weird with those textures. I still prefer for those particular games the original. Although again, I think the original Metroid Prime remaster or remake is my favorite of all time in terms of those kind of things.
Yep. No, I get it. It's just Pikmin 2 was one of those. Pikmin 2 is one that like I've never really truly got into Pikmin, and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes seemed like I liked Metroid Prime, but Prime 2 was just not quite as good as 1 in my opinion.
I feel the same.
Dark Samus was not interesting to me in the least.
I thought it looked really cool at E3 when I saw the videos, and then when I played it, I did not think it was really cool, and I didn't end up beating it. I think it's the only of the 3D Metroids that I didn't beat, and I just, there's something about it. I didn't think the progression was as good. But I don't know. I'll give it another shot. See how it goes. And then Pikmin, I like Pikmin. I actually like it more now than I did. It's one of those games that it's like for me, it's like a cozy game. Like it's a game that you kind of just sit and like you can kind of relax and, you know, play Pikmin. It's not, I mean, they build it as like the next Legend of Zelda. I don't know if you remember like all the magazines and everything. They were like, it was like Miyamoto's new IP. It's the next Legend of Zelda.
I never got that. I got all the hype because it was like Miyamoto's newest original franchise, but I never felt like they were really pushing it as like the next Zelda or something like that.
And maybe it was Nintendo Power. I remember specifically.
I could very well see that.
I remember specifically reading that phrase, so I was pretty excited for it. And then when I first played it, I was like, this is not exciting. But I eventually fell in love with Pikmin. It's actually 1 and 2, especially, and 3. 3's on the Wii U, right? Yeah. 3 was really good too, and that was a game that the kids really got into as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying like it's just
I had
one of those
progression
games
like this, liking.
Yeah. It was sort of an RTS / puzzle game, and I kind of got into it. I really appreciate the game and the art style, but there was something about that game that just felt too slow. Every time I would sit down to play it for more than an hour, I always found myself like falling asleep.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got that cozy factor to it. Yeah. For me, it was an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Have either of you played Pikmin 4?
Have not. Again, the first two were not really trendsetters for me, so I kind of skipped 3 and 4.
Have you played Pikmin 4?
No, I've been curious about it. Like it's a puzzle game of sorts, and I tend to like puzzle games, so it's one that has caught my interest. I just haven't had the disposable income to pick it up yet. There was
a demo of that one, right?
Yes, it was.
Speaking of today's topic, but we definitely played the demo.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those games, like, it always, every time I see it, it always reminds me of Lemmings. And that's like the number one thing my brain goes to whenever I see Pikmin is like, oh, hey, it's Lemmings 2025 or something like that.
Yep. Or 2001. But no, it's definitely, I don't know. It grew on me. I was initially disappointed, I have to say. And then it grew on me. And now I really like the series. Like, I want to play 4, and I'd be excited if they announced Pikmin 5.
Awesome. I think everybody would be, or a lot of people would be anyway.
Yeah.
I remember the hype around 4 because they had taken so long to get to that between 3.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
For sure. All right, so next up, you'll all be really happy to hear that there is now an unofficial port of Banjo-Kazooie for the PC. So you can now go play Banjo-Kazooie in 4K 120 FPS ultra widescreen mode if you so desire. Now, I don't know how much you guys love Banjo-Kazooie. I'm a big Nuts and Bolts fan, but the original and Banjo-Tooie, they're okay platformers. They're better. They're some of the better platformers on the N64. I'll say that.
I've never been a fan. It is on my list to try again though, because I don't know. Maybe it hit at a time, but I do. It is a game I want to try again. I love the recomps and the decomps in general though, because the N64. The big problem with the N64 for me is the frame rate. There's a lot of things I can forgive, but the frame rate on some of those games is just god awful, and I'm not trying to be facetious. Like, it actually makes me nauseous. So the recomps and decomps running like an N64 game at 144 frames a second, 4K, and a lot of them have really nice texture packs. Like the Ocarina of Time stuff has some really, really good texture packs that can either make it look like the 3DS version or just high-res original style. So I don't know. I think it really benefits that. There's going to be some PS2 decomps soon. I've been seeing there's people working on that. That could be interesting because the PS2 is a really interesting system hardware-wise.
Yeah, not necessarily related to the PS2, but did you see they actually released a Fighting Force and Fighting Force 2 remastered collection?
No.
Like, oh my God. Like, I was like, those are two games that I don't think anybody wants to play. They're like Fighting Force 1, kind of revolutionary, taking the side-scrolling beat 'em up into 3D. But Fighting Force 2, as somebody that owned Fighting Force 2 and beat that game on the Dreamcast, that game is terrible.
Oh, I like the first one.
Yeah, like I said, first one's not bad.
I haven't thought about this game in a long time.
Right? But good news, you can now play it on your PS5, your Xbox Series X, or your PC.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that is so limited run games.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Physical release. Like physical release of that game from limited run games. That makes like I don't know who greenlit that thing, but I mean,
all you Fighting Force fans, all three of you.
Yes.
Hopefully
that truly was a limited run.
Yeah. Take on the Nomer.
But anyway, sorry. Let's see here. So next up, there are, for all you Blizzard fans out there, there's going to be 4 Blizzard showcases over the next 2 weeks. They're going to be showing off the future of a lot of their franchises. So I assume this is kind of an initiative from Microsoft just to kind of get a lot of this stuff back out there. They're going to be showing the future of, I think they're going to be showing the future of, from what I understand, the future of Hearthstone, Overwatch, WoW, and of course the latest updates on the new expansion for Diablo. So very excited to kind of see what they've got up their sleeve. Like WoW, Hearthstone, Overwatch, I'm really not like, are they going to show off Overwatch 3? Probably not. Is there going to be a new expansion for both WoW and Hearthstone? Probably. Diablo, maybe there's something new beyond just the new expansion for Diablo 4, but like let's see what like I still there's that nostalgia piece of me that still thinks of Blizzard back in like 1995, 96, and even like 2005, right? Whereas like, man, whatever they put out is going to be amazing. And like the back of my head, part of me that just wants to see that happen again. Probably won't happen. Probably won't recapture any of that. But like, you know, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like Diablo 4 was good, was better than Diablo 3. And I want to see kind of how they expand on it. The new class looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you on all the. I also really like StarCraft. The first one I liked. Okay, I really got into 2. We had a group of folks we'd play and usually get slaughtered, but eventually we kind of moved up the like metal thing and got it became fun. So that'd be cool. And then with WoW, again, I tried WoW several times and could never get into it. I never got very far. It just wasn't for me. However, the kids, we've all been playing Roblox together, this 99 Nights game, which is very different from a lot of Roblox things. But like, I was thinking like, I could maybe transition them into like a different game that would be more fun. And I was thinking WoW would be a fun like family game that everyone could play together. Yeah,
good. I mean, you're gonna have to pay for a lot of different accounts. That might be a little taxing.
Yeah, there's not like a family account you can do. I was hoping.
I don't think so.
I kind of doubt it.
Blizzard wants that scratch, man.
Boo! Just like Microsoft.
I mean, they are Microsoft.
They are Microsoft. Boo.
But at any rate, yeah, there's some stuff coming out. I was big into WoW too at one point in time, like for a few years, but it's kind of come and gone. Even with classic mode out there, just I want to see, like, I truly want to see what's next. Maybe they do have something for like WoW 2 or something like that they're working on, but yeah, we'll see. And speaking of sticking with Microsoft, they had a developer direct last week, which they showed off a bunch of new stuff too. They showed off the new Fable, which looks like it actually could be good, which is kind of disturbing for everybody. I think that has tracked this this current iteration of Fable. Like it showed up in what 2020, 2021, and kind of went dark until 2023 when it popped up at E3, and then it went dark again. And now they've shown off some gameplay, and it looks pretty awesome. Like 1,000 NPCs, all voiced. Like the combat system looks halfway decent. Morality, not morality, but you definitely, your choices have consequences. So we'll kind of see, even if it is just like a remake of the original, or at least like a retelling of the original of some sort. It looks really interesting. It looks like they've kind of at least nailed the tone of the original Fable, or at least the cheekiness of it. They showed that off.
Cool.
They showed Forza Horizon 6, which looks amazing.
I'm hyped.
Yeah. And they also showed off a new game from the Game Freak folks. Yes, Pokemon. The Pokemon people are making a new RPG called Beast of Reincarnation. That looks pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys watched the trailer for it, but it looks pretty cool. I want to see some more of it as it gets a little closer, but like Game Freak can do a lot more than just Pokemon, and looks like this one could be pretty good. It looks intriguing, I'll put it that way. And then finally, Double Fine has another game out already. So like, it's one of those crazy things. Like, you have to imagine when they just go into their game development, like game jams and stuff like that, just all kinds of wackiness comes out of there. And it looks like this is something that came directly out of that. It's called Kiln, and it is a fighting game of some sorts. It looks like, where you are clay pots fighting each other, like anthropomorphic clay pots. And it looks wacky. I really suggest you check out the showcase just for that little section alone. Tim Schafer and the crew look like they've kind of done the Double Fine thing again, and you're like, all right, this is the right kind of crazy I can get behind. Let's see how this thing plays.
Awesome.
Excuse me. Ugh.
Double Fine made you cough.
Yes. Did you guys watch any of those?
I have not.
I haven't either.
Okay.
I should get into it though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terribly long. I think it's like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, but like, it's you should check it out. The Forza Horizon stuff alone looks great. But
yeah, I saw that trailer pop up online, and
yeah,
obviously that made it in my feed.
Yeah, it looks pretty great. And then finally, lastly, there's a gaming analyst out there. Actually, there's a few gaming analysts out there. We were kind of hitting up on the Discord a little bit earlier this week, but there are now multiple gaming analysts that are reporting that supposedly the next generation PlayStation, the PlayStation 6, will likely be delayed till 2028 due to a lot of the RAM increase, the RAM price increases, and other component price increases that are going on right now. So just kind of reinforcing a lot of what we've been hearing. It'll be truly crazy because, I mean, Logan, I don't know how much you guys have read up on a lot of this or looked into this, but like, it takes a lot of R&D and a lot of planning to get a console ready for launch. You have to make a lot of design decisions, component decisions years in advance. And for them to stop where they are now with, you kind of heard rumblings, a lot of it was going to be coming out either later this year or in 2027 potentially. For them to say, let's hold off. Let's hold off for at least 1 year and let's see what's going to go, what's going to happen with all this stuff, I think is absolutely bonkers. I mean, yeah. Microsoft's still busy shooting themselves in the foot, and that could open the door for Microsoft to somehow claw their way back in if they go ahead and release a console. But B, I mean, with the realities of where, gaming components, computer components are right now, like, it might be actually a pretty shrewd move. And I'll be honest with you, like, other than Death Stranding and like the new Naughty Dog game that's coming out next year, like, I don't think there's still anything that's really been pushing this generation of consoles. Like, it still feels like we haven't even kicked off this generation.
Yeah, I mean, just like what you said, I mean, we really haven't seen that much of a generational leap between the 4 and the 5, and then the 5, you know, I still think we've got some life into it. I'm okay with consoles lasting a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like they seem like they come and go so quick, you know, and building up that install base and everything. Generation. Yeah. So like, I'm okay with it. I mentioned that I thought maybe with the RAM prices and there's some extreme craziness that they might get delayed, but you're totally right that you know, even beyond the technical stuff, like that is obviously the big issue, but even just like the marketing machine, getting all of that going takes an immense amount of planning, and getting that organized with all the different departments and all the different groups and all the different outlets and social media and everything. So delaying it is no small feat. I kind of wonder too, with Microsoft shooting themselves in the foot, if they don't feel like they have the competition needed. I mean, I'm kind of thinking for next gen, we'll see how things go, but like building a Steam PC might be the way to go. You know, with a lot of things. The one kind of thing down from that is there are games that are not like there's optimization that can happen with the consoles where it actually runs better on the console even though it has lower specs. So that kind of stuff, I don't know. And I love controllers.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a trade-off because you lose some of the graphical, like the graphical nuance settings you can do on PC to optimize it yourself. Yeah. So there's a trade-off there.
There is that, true, but then also I like having the developer optimize it for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the trade-off, right? Is like how much tweaking and poking and prodding do you want to do, or do you just want to have the standard experience?
And I go back and forth. I'm not necessarily saying one's better than the other. Like I definitely go back and forth. So
it is totally personal preference.
Yeah, and there's just there's a large swath of people out there that just want the standard experience. Like okay, this is the game. I'm going to get it for the PlayStation, and this is how everybody else that has this is going to see it.
Yeah, well, and that's really is part of the reason why it's so big that they're delaying their console, because like you mentioned, all of those decisions in terms of like what's this platform that everybody's going to optimize their games for the next 6-7 years, like, and all that has to be delayed, and technology is going to march forward in the future, so they might even have to like make some design changes because of the delay that they're doing. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
It is nuts, but it's fun. It'll be fun to follow. I always like following the new hardware, and then being disappointed by it. But it's always fun. For me, like there's nothing more fun than opening a new console or like getting new hardware and plugging it in. And 8-bit Moss Playa writes in here, waiting for the new Steam Deck to be made by third parties. They should have more VRAM.
I mean, they should. But, I mean, it's still a plenty capable machine with what it's got.
I've been impressed by the Steam Deck so far from what I've seen.
You have one too? Am I the only one that doesn't have one?
I don't actually have one, but I've seen some like technical breakdowns of it.
You should keep an eye on... Yeah, sorry.
I've been so close to buying it like several times, but I'm not a portable person. I want to sit at the TV. But the one thing is, as you know, Jack, with children taking over the TV, sometimes it's like the best way to do things. Although I've done some comparisons with like my PC and then playing on the TV with different games, and even with like lower settings, I definitely prefer like the TV. I also have like my dream TV, and if I had maybe a better, my computer monitor is definitely optimized for color corrections, not optimized for games. And I think if I had like a gaming monitor, I might change my opinion on that. But
that's fair.
Yeah. I've been tempted by the Steam Deck, but I've already got like a pretty good gaming laptop, which it's not as like ergonomic as a Steam Deck, but I can still take it with me places. So I just haven't needed to make the jump yet.
Fair enough. But I will say, like, if you keep an eye on Steam, like there are Steam Deck sales every now and then. You can get one you can pluck like the base model up for like $250 every now and then.
Well, and honestly, like Steam, if you want to give us some review units,
yeah,
I wouldn't mind it. hardware is always harder to get.
Without a doubt.
But an 8-bit Moss Play says Steam Machine. He meant Steam Machine, not Steam Deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, that new Steam Machine is pretty exciting too. Like they've got that. Sounds like it's going to be modular in some respects, which is really cool to see from more of a console type machine.
I'm super stoked for Steam to get into more into console stuff. I just think the competition is great, especially since Microsoft is kind of like, maybe not. Sony has been strong every generation, and I just think the competition's gonna be good for everybody. And Microsoft's been laying a lot of eggs in the last several years, really since Windows. I mean, for a few years now. And that shift towards Linux, is interesting. I mean, just as an aside, like I've been doing a lot of Linux. I bought the Halo Master Chief Collection on PC. I had it on Xbox. I just wanted to try it out a little bit. So I load it on PC, and like the Halo 2 remake doesn't play on my PC. Like it's so buggy. The graphics just drop out. Now, if you push, the other button and you can look at the old Halo 2 graphics, those work, but the new ones don't. Super buggy. I go to my Linux partition, works. Not perfectly, but better. So you would think Halo of all games, or Xbox Studios games of all games, would work better on Microsoft. But anyway, I actually ended up getting a refund for it because
that's good.
It was just so buggy. It's been out forever now, but my Xbox Series X one works fine. Like I just So.
I get it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent.
Okay, feel free.
Here, I did something exciting this week that I'm pretty excited about.
Ooh,
it's exciting, and I'm excited about it. but as I'm getting fiber pretty soon, it's getting sooner. They've stopped digging holes, and now there's been the AT&T truck, I think, activating it. I don't know the steps, but that's my hope. So anyway, I've been kind of trying to figure out what kind of NAS I want to do to share with the site folks, to have capture footage and episodes and anything that people need to share. And then also with the various movie projects I'm doing, have an easy way to share different files. And with JB's recommendation of using TrueNAS, I set up TrueNAS as a VM on my Linux server that also serves some files and does Plex and some other things. And I have to say, I love TrueNAS. Like I was just gonna make it simple and do like an FTP server and just make it easy peasy. But I decided to give it a shot, and it was super easy to install, set up on the VM, and like get running, and it just kind of works. And the performance, I have a RAID 1 setup, so it's mirrored, so the read is a little bit speed improved, and there's the redundancy, right? But I've honestly been so impressed with the performance and how it works, just testing things out. I already have like tons and tons of stuff on there to share. I just need the fiber to be activated. But it's been a really fun experience. Like when it worked, I was pretty stoked that it worked, because sometimes I hadn't done a bridge connection with a VM in a while, and I had to kind of remember, and I'd never done it on Linux before, so that was kind of the only thing I had to like figure out. But it was a lot of fun. I love doing stuff like that, and I'm excited that I can share it with y'all.
Awesome.
Yeah, I may have to try TrueNAS when I set up a NAS in the future.
Yeah, because I was gonna get like a dedicated one, but I have this server, and I was able to get. There's a great website. Oh my God, what is it? Cheap drives. You Google cheap hard drives, it'll give you a list of the cheapest hard drives like per like space. And so I got a really, really good deal on these hard drives. And yeah, I'm just super excited about it. I love it. Networking is fun.
Yeah, just kind of going down that rabbit hole too. There's another website. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but basically it tells you like here's where the cheapest hard drives are, but they're like part of enclosures, so like you still have to shuck the drives out of the enclosures, but like they're much cheaper than just buying them retail.
Yeah, that's these were enclosure ones.
Nice. Okay.
And getting them out of like
site.
Seagate, was it Seagate? Whatever company it was, really didn't want me to get it out. Like it was, I had to look up a video like the trick to get it out, and you have to use like one of these things to like get. Oh, you can't see it, but you get underneath.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
And you get the little latch without breaking everything. But anyway, it was great. Fun experiment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Do we want to talk about our main topic tonight then?
Yeah, let's get. I want to say one thing first.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing first. And it's just a brief thing. So, just randomly, I decided to play a little bit of Halo Infinite this week. With doing my Halo 2 video, you should all check it out. I was kind of in a Halo-y mood, and I'd never played through Infinite because I was waiting for co-op because they said it was going to be there at launch. We're going to have co-op at launch. And so BreakmanX, we played all the Halos together, couch co-op. So I was excited to do that. And then when it came out, we're like, okay, we'll get it, but we'll just wait until couch co-op comes out. And they lied. And no, I mean, their plans changed.
Game development's hard, man.
Yeah, no, it is. They didn't lie. That's simplifying it. Their plans changed. But anyway, I just never ended up playing it because I was kind of mad that they didn't have the couch co-op, and I wanted to play it that way. So I started playing it, and I've only played like an hour or two of it so far. But I have to say, like, I like the way it feels. The combat feels pretty good. I like the grappling hook. It's pretty fun to use. It's better than I thought it would be based on the reviews and things that I've read. It feels good. Like we'll see how it goes. But the first couple hours I've played have been a lot of fun, actually.
Now, the gameplay, like the minute-to-minute gameplay is awesome. What starts to get long in the tooth is it turns into like a Far Cry game where you're like going from like base to base, and it's like, oh hey, clear all these things out here, clear all these things out here. Now there are the story missions, but it's like,
see, I especially hate that stuff. I hate open world stuff, but I also got like a really good deal for the campaign. I'd never bought it,
there you go.
And I just Googled like cheapest way to get Halo campaign, and I found a code I bought for like $15. So I'm like $15 for the Infinite campaign. That's
pretty good.
That's a fine deal. But okay, let's get into the topic of the night. We are talking about some fun stuff tonight. So, game demos. We've all had the experiences I mentioned in the intro of downloading a game demo either because we can't afford it at the moment and we want a taste of it, or just because the game's not out yet. You get to play a beta or an early demo of it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into our favorite demos. All right. So my first one that I wanted to mention, and I have it, but I have it like put in like a special spot, and I couldn't find it because I was going to capture some footage for the intro, and then I couldn't find the damn thing. But that first PlayStation 1 demo disc that I got, I actually did get the PS1 that first Christmas it came out. I was really shocked. I didn't think I was gonna get it, but it happened. But that first PS1 demo disc, because I only had I think one game for quite a while. So I played that demo disc a lot, and it had, I remember it had ESPN Summer Games or something on it. It was like riding a bike and rollerblading. It wasn't a very good game, and I just remember playing it and like my dad coming down and looking at the TV and look how much better it looks, and he's like, "It does."
Yeah, it's like it's all swimmy.
Yeah, it was not it's not a good game, but I was just excited to play PlayStation and not be playing Battle Arena Toshinden all day. So, and I would say in general, PlayStation has some good demo discs, like either the ones or like the ones that came through PSM or whatever, or OPM.
Yeah, I mean that was if you were a console gamer, like that era between like the PlayStation, the Dreamcast, and like I would say the PS2, Xbox, GameCube. Like that was the glory days for for console demos. Like you just, whatever official magazine you got, unless it was Nintendo Power, you got a demo with just about anything you picked up, and like it was just waiting each month to see what demos were going to be on the magazine that month. Like I know I think I kept my entire run of Xbox, like official Xbox magazine demo discs. From when I had a subscription. Like that was literally the only reason I had a subscription to the official Xbox magazine, was just for the demo discs.
Yeah, I remember you showing me those. Those were good.
Yeah. Like one of them is on my list. Imagine that.
Yay! I'm not surprised. Well, speaking of your list, what is your first pick?
So my first one, it's not necessarily a game demo or a beta, but it actually is. See, I'm gonna go. Let's go down the history lesson here, real quick, kids. Back in the day, back before the internet, there was a thing called shareware, and so if you had a PC, a lot of game developers would create like they would give you like the first third of a game and say, here you go, have fun. If you like the whole thing, here's our address, mail us 15, 30, $50, and we'll send you the rest of it. And feel free to share this version of the game with all your friends, because we want them to see it too. And so
it's a cool thing.
It was so much fun. I mean, like I could talk about a million different versions of this, and I've actually got one other one on here. But the first one that really caught my eye that used this method of marketing and demo, if you will, just so people could try it out, was obviously the game that put id Software on the map, Wolfenstein 3D. I mean, there was something about just the ingenuity and the technology that made that game look as amazing as it was. Completely different from anything else on the market at the time, back in 1993, and it was totally different, and just being able to go around, blast Nazis in the face, and pick up dog food, pick up keys, get out of the level and go to the next one. It was really incredible. And by the time I got done with that demo, or not demo, but by the time I was done with the shareware episode, I was ready to plunk down $50 and get ready for the full game. Unfortunately, I was only in 6th grade at the time, so like my parents forking over money for that was not really in the cards, and I didn't have a job yet, so I lived just playing that shareware version for a long time.
Yeah, I remember Wolfenstein PC. I remember a neighbor friend of mine had it, and he wasn't supposed to have it. And so whenever we would play it, we'd have to there'd be like a crowd around the computer, and like the door shut, and like there'd be one person like watching for his parents. And you look at it's like such a tame game, like
not by today's standards.
Yeah, like not at all. It'd be like rated E today. Probably not E, but you get the drift. But yeah, that was such a cool time. And shareware like felt like stealing, because you'd basically get like a game for free and you share it with your friends. And coming from consoles, we had to get like the cartridge. Like it was really cool.
And you see, like even before shareware, like there were a lot of ads like from the FBI and stuff, like don't copy that floppy or things like that. It was just like, no. They're like, yes, please make a copy of this, send it to your friends. We want them to play it. We want them to buy this too. And it completely just threw the entire game industry on PC on its head for quite a while.
I also remember like you could kind of trigger the full game coming in, and then they'd send you a bill for one of them. And like I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. I didn't really realize what I was doing, but I definitely got like a bill for a couple of them. And I was like, oh, sorry for buying this, an accident.
I never did that, but no, shareware was the best. I mean, like I said, Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Descent. There were a ton of games like Rise of the Triad. There were a bunch of Apogee, id Software games. Like they were just. They figured out how to get people to want to pay for video games if they give people a solid reason to.
Yes, very true. All right, Logan, what's your first pick?
Yeah, so this one is also kind of a stretch of the definition here, but my pick is Subnautica, which was technically an early access, but it was still in heavy development when they released it to the fans. They were figuring out what the game was even going to look like still at that point. And that kind of saved the game, releasing it and allowing people to explore. And like every few weeks or so, they would unveil a new like horrifying creature or place in the game and change things up. Like it was a really cool way to build out the world that they were creating and to get people to try this new concept and which allowed it to ultimately be the successful game that it is.
That's great. That's another thing I love about PC is the early access and the seeing games develop. You don't get that with consoles, really. The cool thing.
It's another thing where I think early access really changed the game in terms of giving people a taste of something. Now, obviously, with early access, there's ups and downs. Like that game may not eventually come out. Like it may just die in early access if it doesn't get the direction it needs from people, or just doesn't find its audience. But at least you get something to try out. And if you're active within those communities, you can make an impact on how that game comes to fruition.
Yeah, for sure. All right, going back to my next pick now. This is my favorite game demo of all time. Not my favorite game of all time, but my favorite game demo of all time, because you may know I have some feelings for Final Fantasy VII. Okay, I don't need to go through that again. But so I was really excited for Final Fantasy VIII. I was really, really excited. So I can't remember what the demo came with.
I remember. It was Brave Fencer Musashi.
That's right. And the only reason that I got that game was for the demo. The game actually ended up being fine. But
game was fun, but that's the only reason anybody bought that game was for the Final Fantasy VIII demo.
Very smart move by Square. And so I just, flew, like, turning over the Brave Fencer Musashi, like, on its side and leaving it sad and lonely. And playing the Final Fantasy VIII demo was, like, super amazing. And I freaking loved it. I was so engaged into it. And then, like, it ends in that dramatic scene where he's, like, jumping and, like, in slow-mo on the, like, attack. You're like, oh, my God, like, what comes next? This is so amazing. And then the game came out, and it wasn't as amazing as the demo. I still like it, but it's not the best Final Fantasy. But anyway, such a cool demo. It was so, like, exciting. The music, like, for me, that's where it is.
As the follow-up to Final Fantasy VII, I don't think they could have marketed it any better with the demo like that, because it didn't really get into any of the weirdness of the story that is later on. And the battle system's still solid. So if you were a fan of Final Fantasy VII, it kind of gave you a taste of what you wanted.
And it was in, like, Charlie's Angels, too.
Yeah.
And there's two people playing it. It's not obviously not two people play a game. I just remember seeing, like, two people playing, like, Final Fantasy VIII. Like, obviously they had no idea what they were doing. Yeah. But Jack knows what he's doing. What's your next pick?
Yeah. So my next one, speaking of all those official Xbox magazine discs, Ninja Gaiden for the original Xbox. That was a demo. I think I found out that game was going to be on the official Xbox demo disc maybe a month or two from somewhere. I can't remember where, but I found it out, and I think that's the issue that I made a subscription for that magazine just for that game, just for that demo. It was awesome. I mean, you got the entire first level, which, I mean, granted is like, you could probably play through it in like 2 minutes once you know what you're doing. But it gave you a really good taste of how the combat worked. You didn't get to see any of the later game, like special ninpos or anything like that. But like, you got a boss encounter. You got to see how the wall running and wall jumping worked, and you got to just beat up on a lot of ninjas. It was one of my favorite experiences with the original Xbox was playing that demo. I think I ran through that demo, probably, I don't know, at least 20 times, just playing it start to finish. A, to see how fast I could get through it, but B, just because it was so much fun, and I wanted to see just what kind of things I could find as I was playing through, and what kind of strategies I could use to get better. And then the full game came out obviously months later, and realized I breezed through that first level, but then just got my ass handed to me after that because that game was brutal.
That was the name of the game. That demo also was in EB for like ever.
Yes. Well, there was good reason for it. I mean,
it
was really
not complaining.
It did a really good job of showing off what the console could do.
Mm-hmm. It still looks good, by the way. I played the original on the original Xbox not too long ago, and it still looks like really good.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
All right, Logan, what's your next pick?
Yeah, so my next pick is Minecraft, which, man, I love the way that they've done, the way that they did the beta and really the whole development cycle of Minecraft. Similar to Subnautica, it released and just came out at a point where they were still figuring out what the game even was to the fans. But unlike Subnautica and really most games, they've allowed all of their like demos and betas to still be playable to this day. So sometimes it's fun to go back and try the old versions with all like the weird quirks and glitches, and like the game has evolved and completely changed vibes like multiple times over the course of its development. And you can still bring like worlds from almost the earliest versions of the game forward to modern versions, which allows some interesting like blending of styles and the way the world loads and everything. You can mess around a lot with some of those old versions of the game.
That's cool. It's fun to see that progression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really know of any other games that do that. It's something pretty unique.
That's really cool. That would be another fun family game, Minecraft.
Yeah. If
sure.
you ever want to open up a server, I can kind of share some of my knowledge on how to do that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think about it. You have to get the littlest one is the reluctant one for Minecraft. So I think the other two would play it.
That's interesting. Alex loves Minecraft.
Maybe she should, share that knowledge, because I think that would that would help. That would help. Fair. That would help. All right, next pick for me. Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 was the one I meant.
Okay, you gotta take me through this one because I do not remember a demo for that at all. I remember a demo for Dark Forces, the original, but I do not remember a demo for Jedi Knight.
I'm trying to remember which I think it came with PC Gamer. Okay, but it was a disc, and I actually still have the disc in my spindle. What a great phrase, disc in my spindle. But no, I obviously loved Star Wars. I actually didn't like the original Dark Forces much first because I wasn't super into FPS games at the time.
Oh, dude.
But later I liked it. I did eventually come to terms and like it a lot. So it didn't last. But this one, I remember, if I remember correctly, and this was a long time ago. This would have been 97.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right around there.
Somewhere around that time. And I just remember popping it in, and I believe it had both single and multiplayer. It had like one multiplayer map that you could play on the Internet Gaming Zone, Microsoft's Internet Gaming Zone. And that was a lot of, I think it was the Battleground level. But anyway, I love that Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight was the first online game that I mean, Doom 2 doesn't really count because it was dial-up, like direct to the person. But in terms of internet online games, Jedi Knight was the first game that I played a ton of. Shadow and I had a clan. We played on Case's Ladder eventually, but starting out with that demo was what got us hooked. And then I would let friends borrow it to bring them into the fold so they would get the full game and play online with us.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That was I never did play the demo. I just was like, it's a Star Wars game. It's a sequel to Dark Forces. I have to play this game. And
that was a good game. I mean,
it's a really good game.
And it's cheesy obviously, but well produced
for the time.
Like full motion videos for the time. And especially you hadn't got any new Star Wars video content for like ever. It wasn't now where you turn around and there's a new Star Wars series. So getting even some new Star Wars content was pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, what's your next pick? Jack.
All right, so my next one is a little newer, so there might be a little recency bias here, but Mina the Hollower. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago about one of our most anticipated games for 2026, but Mina the Hollower makes a really strong first impression from the folks over at Yacht Club Games. It looks great, plays great, sounds great. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. It is one of my favorite demos I've played this year. And so I'm really excited for that when it comes out. If it can nail the same frenetic style and fun gameplay of what was in that demo, I'm really excited to see kind of where it goes and what kind of things they do as their true official follow-up to Shovel Knight.
Cool. Yeah, I'm super stoked. I missed the demo, which I'm bummed about because, I kickstarted that game like in prehistory, and I can't wait to finally get to play it.
I will say one thing I'm kind of disappointed with, like the state of demos now, at least like the Steam Next Fest stuff. I really wish they wouldn't time lock those. It'd be really nice if you could go back and get them. Now, I understand those are just like Next Fest demos. It's part of a promotional thing they got. They want to bring people into the platform to see that stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, I have to imagine Yacht Club would really love people just to keep trying it and keep playing it or share it with people and they could get to it. And they probably will release the demo again once the game is out or very close to being out. But just kind of a shame it's just locked behind that paywall. Not paywall, that's the wrong word to say, but this
time wall.
That time wall, yeah.
Yeah, it's like what Logan was saying with the Minecraft stuff and, getting to still play those. What a cool thing that we unfortunately don't get with Mina.
Yeah. Like with the age of the internet, like obviously you can go back and play all the disc-based game demos, but with the internet and updates, they rarely ever let you go back and play older versions of the game, which is kind of a loss. You can see the progression of how it was built, which is kind of both. The demos sometimes have their own unique experience that you like to go back to enjoy, but also it's kind of cool just to see the process of building the game and how it changed over time.
Definitely. I love the preservationists out there that preserve all this stuff. Have you seen like the Windows 98 pack and the DOS pack? There's like basically like every game from the different eras like preserved. And there's some demos preserved too. Also what I love about demos, the selection screen music a lot of times is pretty cool and rocking to get you excited.
Yep. The official PlayStation magazine.
Those were really cool.
Those were solid.
Those were rocking. All right, Logan, what's your next pick?
Yeah, so my next one is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which that one you could only really play the demos at like a Walmart or a Target, like kiosks. But you could play like whole rounds of Mario Kart there. And I remember occasionally just like walking into the store and like standing next to a kiosk with my friends and just playing Mario Kart in the Walmart and having such a fun time.
That's a fun experience.
I will say, like honestly, like for me, the throwback of like going to a Target or a Walmart or even a Toys R Us and like just it was there, and like if your mom or your dad took you there, you're just like, I'm just gonna go to the electronics section and just sitting on that thing for 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and hopefully you considered yourself the luckiest kid in the world if you got there and they didn't have it on like a 5-minute timer where the damn thing reset automatically.
Right.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna play Super Mario World. Oh no, I got to the first level.
People used to always tease me that I was gonna get some disease from playing those like public consoles, and I was like, no. You know what? I actually did get. I don't remember what game. It was like mid 2000s, but I played something at like a Walmart, and I got a planner's wart on my thumb, and like those really suck. Because they're really hard to get rid of. I was like, I'll just like pull it out, and it keeps going. It's like really deep. I'm not gonna get gross about it, but I was able to get rid of it. But like, Logan, have you ever gotten a disease from those controllers?
No, not specifically.
Well, there you go.
That's next week's episode.
I'm just
the diseases we got.
Diseases of ghosts. There we go. Okay, I'm the only one. Jack, any diseases?
No, thankfully.
Wow.
I did not contract any leprosy or anything like that from playing public game consoles.
Yeah, I can remember exactly. It was right there on my freaking thumb, right where the thumbstick was. Some gross heathen had played it. All right, next demo, Sonic Adventure 2 for me.
Yeah.
This one came with Phantasy Star Online, if I remember right.
Yes,
on Dreamcast.
yes, it did.
And I loved Phantasy Star Online. I played it a ton, like a ton. I really got into that. As it's the MMO I've still played the most. Like I played it over again. But that demo, I liked the first Sonic Adventure. I didn't like playing as the other characters really, and I didn't like the hub world. But I like the levels.
Don't you knock Big the Cat? Don't you knock Big the Cat?
Well, he'd be hard because he's big. But no, I did not like them. But Sonic Adventure 2, that demo was the first level of Sonic, and that was such a cool level, and it like made you so excited for playing Sonic Adventure 2, and the music was rocking. I remember showing that to my friends.
Escape from the City is like right up there, man. It is
so good.
Top tier Sonic the Hedgehog music.
Follow me. Yeah. Set me free. Yeah. No, that was so much, and I would show it to my friends because I was like, "Ha, Dreamcast! You'll never be able to play this on your Nintendo." Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah,
but it actually made people interested in the Dreamcast, and then not too long after that, they ended the Dreamcast, and Sonic Adventure 2 came out on GameCube, and then later like everything. But great demo.
But that's because it's a pretty. Compared to Sonic Adventure 1, it is an incredibly strong entry in the series. Even if it does like the other Sonic Adventure games or 3D Sonic games, it kind of tapers off in the back half. But still
the only thing I didn't like about it is it forces you to play as the other characters. And at least they're better levels than Sonic Adventure 1, I would say, like the extra characters. But besides, like the Sonic and Shadow levels are definitely the best levels, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the other ones just aren't quite as good, but still fun. But yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is that my favorite 3D Sonic game? I think it is.
You can pick worse ones, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite of them. But nice. All right, what's your next one, Jack?
All right, so my next one, I don't think I would say it is. It's my favorite because of how much of a swerve it was and how much it was. Yeah, at the end of the day, it was just Hideo Kojima messing with everybody. It was so cool. Okay, my pick is Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty, and everybody was gaga over Metal Gear Solid 1. And so everybody, when they announced Metal Gear Solid 2, all the trailers, everything, it's Solid Snake. He's on the PS2. He looks better. The everything just looks better, looks more interactive, looked really cool. And so you get the demo, you buy Zone of the Enders, and it comes with the demo for Metal Gear Solid 2. And you play through it. It's like a 30-minute demo, maybe an hour, 2 hours if you're really stretching it out and doing everything. But like the level of interactivity was amazing. You could shoot the ice cubes, you could shoot everything, and everything interacted. And it was just amazing to see how far they went from Metal Gear Solid 1 to Metal Gear Solid 2. And it was all just aboard the ship. And you had no clue. It looked amazing. And there was at least a stinger at the end. You kind of saw what was going on. Solid Snake's trying to save the world, and he's getting framed for something else. And that's kind of where the demo leaves off. And then, again, not directly tied to the demo, but when the full game comes out and everybody's like, what the hell? Who is right?
Raiden wins.
And like everything with that, like the anger, the rage at which the internet and everybody had towards Kojima for deliberately baiting and switching everybody on that was something to behold. I have to really give him props, just for being ballsy enough to do that and just say, you guys really love Solid Snake, don't you? Guess what?
Nope.
You're not going to play as him during this, like 90% of this game. So,
especially in the video game industry, right?
Yeah.
Like you have Mario, you always play as like the same character and you have that progression. And to do that was so bizarre. The first time I didn't play the demo, but when I played Metal Gear Solid 2 and I got to Raiden, I stopped playing because I was like, I don't want to play as this guy. And then eventually I went back and played it. But like the first time I played it, I was disappointed. 8-Bit Moss Play says Metal Gear Solid 2 still brings on much rage in me. That first part of that game is great.
I think the entire game is amazing, especially the third act once things go bonkers. But that game is Kojima time indeed. He like I said, Death Stranding 2, he has not lost it. Like he's still out there.
Has he always lost it?
No, I think he's always had a screw loose for sure.
Which is great because where would we be without him?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
yes.
I think all of the great designers, there's something. I mean, if you look at them, like all of them have weird quirks about them, and I think that's what makes them so good at delivering stuff that other people wouldn't. So.
Without a doubt.
Makes
all right.
unique.
What's your next pick, Logan?
Yeah, so my next pick is Space Cadet Pinball, which technically is a demo. Technically is a demo. I believe it was for Full Tilt Pinball by Maxis, but they just shipped it with Windows for a while there.
Yes.
And I spent literal hours sometimes playing Space Cadet Pinball after school. It was just a lot of fun.
Dude, I'll tell you, pinball games, whether they're like virtual pinball or real pinball, like that is hours and hours of entertainment. So Space Cadet was one of the great ones. And
or for the NES.
Yeah, I mean, the Pinbot for the NES was great, or High Speed, both really decent ports of actual pinball games to NES. But like,
I was watching one of Jeremy Parrish's videos. It might be relevant in a few weeks. He was talking about the original pinball on the NES. Yeah. And how difficult it was to program that to get the physics right because they hadn't really done it on a console before. And guess who they brought in to do it that was able to do it? Iwata.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
He wasn't technically supposed to be on the project, but he had experience with the processor because a lot of them didn't at that point for the early games. And so he was really, really key and all that.
That's
Just
awesome.
Interesting Iwata fact. I liked him. I miss him. The new Nintendo folks are probably great at what they do, but they just don't have the personality that Iwata had.
I don't think many people did.
He could really eat a muffin too. Weezer Jedi has a video of him he got at E3. It's like he shot it through like the crack in a door, and Iwata's like, like eating a muffin, and he put this funny music to it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh Iwata. Oh Iwata-san.
So what's your next one, Blake?
My next pick. Okay, so Destiny, and not necessarily because I liked it, to be honest with you. I was excited to see what Bungie would do because I'd kind of been seeing stuff throughout, with Greg and everything, that they're working on something. I had no idea what, but I knew that they're working on something expansive and big like this. And so I was excited to see what it would end up being. And honestly, I remember playing it and really not liking it, and and not thinking it didn't look good, and all that. And actually, when Destiny actually came out, the real game, I actually ended up liking it quite a bit, and I put a fair amount of hours into not the second one, but the first one. I liked the raids. I had that first one was actually quite a bit of fun and delivered on. Not necessarily what we thought we were going to get, but delivered an experience that was definitely worthwhile and a lot of fun. So it's funny because like I was disappointed with it, but then ended up liking the game.
Yeah. Now that demo for Destiny, or not demo, but it was a beta, I believe.
Beta, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, for Destiny was really striking. And I was really intrigued because obviously I was a huge Halo fan and I wanted to see what Bungie was going to do next. And so when they announced that there was going to be a demo for that, or a beta for that, I was, of course, on board as soon as they announced it. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Obviously, just being stuck on Earth in the Russia zone was not great, but like
the worst zone.
It at least gave you a taste of what to expect and what the party system was going to be like and how you could interact with everybody else. I think that beta showed me how much I was going to like the game, and without that, I would have bought it anyway because it was Bungie's next game, and to that point, like their track record was still immaculate. And so, it was one of those things where I was buying it regardless, but that demo was just, or that beta was just like, okay, yep, these guys still got it. Let's go. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, it felt like Star Wars. I mean, like, you didn't have a lightsaber, but like it just like riding the speeder around and everything, and the whole that whole game, and just flying to the different planets. It really felt, I mean, to me, like Star Wars, like its own thing. Obviously, like it had its own lore, but it just felt like Star Wars.
Yep, a lot of parallels.
So, all right, Jack, what's your?
So my next one is another one that had a fun demo. So Resident Evil 4. What game did that come with? It was one of the other Capcom games. I cannot remember it off the top of my head. I thought I remembered what it was. Was it? Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of it?
I'll look it up.
It wasn't Beautiful Joe. It wasn't Piano 3. Oh my gosh. I can see the box art. I just can't think of the name.
Limited preview disc as a pre-order bonus. It was given in December 2004 to those that pre-ordered Resident Evil 4.
See, I swear it came with the game. It wasn't just a demo that you could get. Anyway, regardless, Resident Evil 4's demo gives you the village sequence and just the village sequence, and that was probably the most white knuckling I've ever done with a game demo in my life. That game was incredible, intense. When the guy comes after you with the chainsaw in the demo, I had never really experienced anything like that in a video game. And I had watched the E3 demos. I had seen this before, but seeing somebody else do it and then going through it yourself, trying not to get your head cut off by that guy, was just insane at the time. And I was just like, there's no way this Resident Evil game, which has tank controls, plays nearly as good as it looks. But then you get in there and it's even better, and it still holds up as one of my favorite games. And that demo really showed me, is like, all right, these guys know what they're doing. Like they transition to a full behind the shoulder or over the back 3D camera really, really well, despite the track record of the other Resident Evil games.
Yeah. But I looked it up. I can't find anything other than it was a pre-order bonus.
Huh. I swear it was. I
kind of have that memory too, but
maybe I'm just misremembering. I thought it came with something.
But yeah, what a great demo. So original or remake for RE4?
Oh, the original. Yeah. Well, man, I can definitely get through professional mode on the original. I can't do that on the new one. But I would say, gun to my head, I would probably pick the remake, just because I think it streamlines some of the stuff that I'm not a big fan of with the first one.
Cool. Yeah, Breakboy's beaten that one several times now. All right.
I mean, it is a classic.
It is, for sure. All right, Logan, do you have another pick? Or should I go to my next one?
I do not have another pick at this time. I realize that I don't have actually a lot of experience with like demos and betas, really.
Well, that's okay. You've already brought a lot to the table, and you can comment on the rest of ours. Cool. So my next one is just like in general. I actually.
Uh-oh. Show and tell time.
Like next to me, like all these spindles of old.
Yes.
Old CDs from all sorts of backups, but they have like a ton of PC Gamer demo discs because that's the reason I mean, PC Gamer was great, but the reason I subscribed was the demo discs. And you never knew.
Subscribed.
Yeah, you never knew what you were gonna get. There's always a fun mishmash of different games, and it was really a way I played so many different games that I never ended up buying, but just got to have the experience of of the demo. So this for me, I'm not I already, I picked one earlier, the JK one, for a specific one. But to me, this is just the PC Gamer demo disc experience. That was such a cool. And the other thing was, at the time I was on dial-up, so it would take me like a week or two to download a demo. Not exaggerating. So the fact that I could just install it from the CD was a huge benefit. And that's like if it went all the way through. If someone called the phone, then the download would stop.
You get started all over.
And that's like a half a week lost. So it was nice to have that.
And I'll piggyback on that too. Like the PC Gamer demo discs, it wasn't just demos. Remember, like they had like Quake 2 levels. Like they literally designed levels in house and would distribute them via the disc.
A cool time.
It was really cool, and it wasn't anything like really special, but it added to the life of the games you had if you had those games, and it was really cool.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't the internet. You couldn't just digitally distribute. You had to go to the store or order it and wait. So the fact that you have these to tide you over.
Yep. And the internet ruins everything.
Or makes it better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends. I mean, you lose the physical discs and you gain instant download, but also now you don't have access to all the old demos anymore for the most part.
Yep.
Except my spindles.
Yeah. But there was something about a time and place. Like you literally waited for that issue to come to your door, or when you found it in the store and you just grabbed it and took it home.
That was exciting really cool when you got the magazine. That's a feeling I miss.
Yeah.
That's actually why that EGM Kickstarter for the compendium. I've got the digital version, but I'm waiting to read it until the physical one comes out. But it's pretty cool, and I'm excited to get that in. There's some other like video game type books that I have kickstarted and are pretty fun. But yeah, that experience of getting a magazine in the mail was really cool, and something that it just did. I was like, what were your favorite? So EGM, I loved EGM, Nintendo Power, because Nintendo Homer. And then PC Gamer, although I wasn't always subscribed to that one. And Maximum PC. I loved Maximum PC.
Maximum PC was pretty good.
And it was really cheap too.
Let's see. I had official Xbox magazine for a while. I had PC Gamer for a little while. I also had the Net for a little while, and that was interesting because I thought it was like they part of their promo was like, hey, we've got a disc too. Their disc wasn't really game demos. Like their disc was like, here's some QuickTime movies about other websites we visited or other things that we've seen on the web. Also, here's just here's a spreadsheet, a CSV file of like all these cool websites that we reference in our magazine this month, and so like you can go check them out here.
Google was not a thing yet.
No, I don't think it was.
It wasn't as good as it was.
It wasn't as prevalent because this was like, I want to say this was like 97 to 99, somewhere around there.
Yeah, this was all Yahoo all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Another really great one.
I was still using Netscape.
Yeah. Netscape. That was for the day. Next Generation was another one I really liked.
The Next Generation was really good. They had really good like print stock. I think that was my favorite thing about Next Generation.
Yeah, they did, and they had awesome Dreamcast coverage. Like,
they did.
Again, I have a tote in there. All my comic books got ruined in like a flood thing when I was moving. The landlord turned off the heater when I was because I was moving out, and I just had my stuff there ready to move out. And then when I came back that day, the pipes had frozen and exploded. So a lot of stuff got ruined. My video game magazines were in a different part of the room, so they're fine. But bleh. All right.
Yes.
We just did mine. So Jack, what's your next pick?
So my next one, again, going back to the PC and the shareware days, Duke Nukem 3D. Something I never actually played the first Duke Nukem or the second Duke Nukem when 3D came out. But I had a buddy that had a PC that could play it. And when we were over at his house, we played through the first level, and I was just like, this game is amazing. The level of interactivity in this thing is just ridiculous. Like going to the pool table and just actually like getting the physics to kind of knock the balls around, or just interacting with the pinball table, even if it didn't really do anything. And of course, all the other stuff you can do with the strippers and whatnot. Like it was just one of those things where it was interesting. You could look up and down in a 3D game, which was unheard of. Like I had played so much Doom and Doom 2. When I found out you could look up and down and even fly in Duke Nukem 3D, my mind was blown. And so that demo, but the shareware episode of Duke Nukem 3D left an incredible impression on me as a 13, 14-year-old. Like I was right target demographic for that game. Got me interested in Army of Darkness, got me interested in a lot more John Carpenter movies. It was pretty influential on a young Jack Burton.
That was quite the experience, and the one-liners too.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that was like, I was just like, man, these one-liners are amazing. He sounds like a complete asshole, but like,
yeah.
like
the one that I remember the most is, "You're an inspiration for birth control."
Yep. There's some pretty bad ones.
Yeah, that's the only one that I remember.
And now, like, you think about it now, and like Duke Nukem, even at the time of Duke Nukem Forever, Duke Nukem is pretty much just a punchline for just about anything misogynistic, which is very fair. But like, it's just like, yeah, we're gonna do a new Duke Nukem game, and it's just like, really? Okay.
That's definitely a time capsule.
Yeah, at the time, and even if Duke Nukem Forever had come out, I think when it originally had planned on, or even 2001, I think it might have had a fighting chance rather than what ended up happening to it with Gearbox.
Yeah, those were some interesting Jeff Gerstmann podcasts during that period. I don't know if you're listening to those, but yeah, those were some interesting times. All right. So more demos. So Metal Gear Solid 1. I was going to put it with your 2, but I decided to pace it out a little bit. But Metal Gear Solid 1, I remember playing the demo of that. I don't remember what it came with.
I'm going to look it up while you talk.
Yeah. But that game was so cinematic, and the UI design, like I love the UI design of all the Metal Gear games. We talked about art, before, and they have that, but the gameplay, and at first I sucked at it, like the stealth. I was really not good at that at first, and I had to kind of wade through my frustration to be able to do it. And it made me end up renting the game, and then when I rented it, the disc was screwed up, and like I kept getting to this spot, and the game would freeze. And it wasn't until I finally bought the game that I actually got to beat it and hear about love blooming on the battlefield. Dr. No, again, back to Weezer Jedi, he would go on E3 and ask people really awkward questions. And a few of them came from Metal Gear Solid. And he'd just go to people and like, do you think that love can bloom on the battlefield? And like people that had played Metal Gear Solid, thought it was funny. And then some people were just like, what?
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Did you find out where it came from?
Yeah, so there was a demo, but it was actually distributed by itself. So like it didn't actually ship with anything.
Okay. Well, maybe that's how I played. I just remember being pretty excited for it.
I would say I think it was probably on one of the demo discs, like the actual like PS1 demo discs, like from official like OPM.
But yeah, I loved Metal Gear on the NES. Like that was so much. The music from it's great too.
Yeah, and what's crazy, so like for me, like I never played any of the Metal Gear games for the Nintendo. Like I always thought they were just like the one that I had seen, Metal Gear, just didn't seem that interesting. Like all I remember is just I feel asleep and punching somebody in the back of the head. But like in retrospect, having played the MSX version of that and then the MSX2, Metal Gear 2, like, man, I was like, man, if these were the games, if these games had come out on the NES, I think I would have had a much different tact to the Metal Gear franchise.
They're definitely better games.
Point. Oh, without a doubt. Like Metal Gear 2, what's crazy is if you have played through Metal Gear 2 on the MSX2, it is, I won't say literally Metal Gear Solid, but like it is almost like plot point for plot point and like gameplay element to gameplay element, the exact same game. Like there's a sequence like, the sequence where you fight Sniper Wolf like is like literally in Metal Gear 2. Like you go, you find a sniper, you don't have a sniper rifle, you have to go backwards to go find one. And yeah, like there's just so many parallels between the two games. It's just like, oh, he got budget and the technology got better. He could actually do this in 3D. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. But like, man, if you play through the whole thing, there's a lot of parallels.
That's cool. Yeah, I might have to play. The Metal Gear for NES, I don't know if it was fun because it was a good game. It was more just like difficult to figure out. And like as a neighborhood, we would like try to figure out how to get through it and kind of figuring out these kind of nonsensical ways of getting through things. I don't know. It was fun. And the music's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Music is really good. All right, Jack, what's your next pick?
All right. So my next pick is Titanfall for the Xbox One. So if nobody remembers, Titanfall was from a new studio from some of the folks that split off of Infinity Ward when they got, I won't say ousted, but they kind of got pushed out by Activision once they bought Infinity Ward outright and basically wouldn't pay them their royalties from Modern Warfare 2. But man, Titanfall I was excited about because I knew the backstory behind a lot of the people that formed that studio and how many ex-Infinity Ward folks they brought over. And then when you told me, oh, hey, it's going to be a first-person shooter, you can run on walls and you can call down mechs and fight in mechs at any time, I was just like, yes, please bring it on. Let's go see this thing. And they had a demo shortly after the Xbox One launched. And like there was something so satisfying, like you're even in the training level before you could actually get into multiplayer, where you're just standing there in the middle of this like open field, and then you get the ability to call down your mech, and all of a sudden you see this pod just like shoot down from space, and then you get into it and everything changes, and you're just like, all right, I can just literally step on dudes now. Here we go. There was something really satisfying about that, and it stuck with me. Titanfall 1 was a really great multiplayer game, a proof of concept, if you will. Titanfall 2 is really where everything came together. And the single player campaign, if you haven't heard me say this before, is one of my favorite stories of all video games. And multiplayer's great too.
For sure. Yeah, it's both are great games. I pretty much agree with everything you said. The Titanfall 1, I remember playing through that, and BreakmanX was in a Power Rangers phase at the time, and calling down the mech was very Power Rangery, so it really hit like the perfect time, and it ran so smooth on the Xbox One, like it was so butter smooth.
Titanfall 1 or 2, I know 2 performs very well on modern hardware. Like my brother was able to run that at surprisingly decent frame rates on like an integrated graphics card.
Yeah, I mean, even 2 is from 2017. So I mean, like the hardware's caught up quite a bit to it, but like, I mean, it runs silky smooth. Like it is amazing. Yeah.
Cool. What a great game. All right, back to my last pick of the evening here is Xenogears.
Yeah,
and kind of a weird game to play a demo of, like when you think of it. And was this on the same demo disc as Final Fantasy VIII?
maybe.
I mean, I think. Oh, it came with Parasite Eve.
Oh, yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Wait. Parasite Eve also came with the Final Fantasy VIII demo.
Did it?
According to Google. I wonder if that's where I got the Final Fantasy VIII demo. I remember the Musashi thing though. I don't know. It was a million years ago. But anyway, Xenogears is a fantastic game. And such a terrible crunch if you've read about any of the development stuff about how they were worked to the bone, and then the ending is just like basically text and like pictures and cutscenes because they just didn't have time to finish the game. But Xenogears, I remember playing it and being really intrigued by the battle system because it was so unlike basically any JRPG I'd ever played, and the kind of weird fight system that completely baffled me at first, having to do like fighting moves to play the game. But the story, I've always liked kind of those mythical type stories, so it kind of grabbed me in a good way there. But yeah, I remember playing that demo and it making me really want to play that game. I mean, you had Final Fantasy VIII and Xenogears on the same demo disc.
Yeah, well, I did look it up. So, Xenogears came with Parasite Eve, and Final Fantasy VIII did come with Brave Fencer Musashi. So,
okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Square also had other demo discs that had like multiple games, because I think they were doing that at the time, but they certainly shipped those demos with those other games.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember getting Final Fantasy VIII like as soon as I could. I mean, I was like rabid.
Yeah.
Rabid for that one. Jack, do you have one more pick to bring us out?
I got one more to bring it home. Hades on PC. So again, early access thing, just to kind of echo what Logan was saying with some of his picks. Like, early access really changed the game. Like, you got a little bit of sliver of action. They made some updates to it here and there, and then you got enough of a taste of it to know what the game was going to be like. So like, if you like the action, then you could pay early for it, and you had it. And then I think Hades was in early access for 13 or 14 months, and when it came out, like, it was an amazing game. The story was great, voice acting is great, action combat is just like superb, and like a lot of it came down to just having that demo out there, having the early access version out there so they could get feedback from people playing it to see what everybody was doing, what everybody liked, and to help kind of, I would say, reinforce some of their design decisions, but I think it helped direct them to seeing what people wanted and how they could make that game as fun as it could be. And it carried over to Hades too. Like, I was really shocked when they not necessarily related to Hades 1, but I was very shocked when Hades 2 was announced in early access, because I was like, do these guys really need to do that? Like, do they really need to see if what they're doing is right this time around? But like, it paid off. Like, again, like I think an 18-month early access cycle, and it's a lot of people's game of the year for 2025. It's another incredibly solid game.
Great choice, and by a great company. So, well, what a fun show. I love demos and betas, and it's been fun to discuss them with you all this evening. So, Jack, what are you going to be doing this week?
Oh boy, this weekend I'm really hoping to finish off Death Strand 2. I think I'm close. I've kind of started getting a lot of the lore dumps towards the end of the game. I think there's some really big twists coming up. I might try to stream it later this week. We'll see.
Yay.
I got to figure out how to stream well from the PS5, but like,
it's not terrible.
No, I mean, it's not, but
it's not it's very cumbersome. Irritating.
Yeah. So I might do that. I might just try to play through it because, man, I really want to see how this thing ends. And just I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a lot of like I am what like 90% done with the game according to the PlayStation app, and I am Like, just the revelations that keep popping up are just bonkers. Just insane. I gotta hand it to Kojima and whoever else is writing this game with him. I'll look through the credits when it's all over, but like,
cool. I would love to see you stream it. It'd be fun.
I know. I'm going to try. I'm going to do everything I can to try to stream the end of that game.
That PS5 rolling. All right, Logan, what are you gonna be doing this week?
Don't have any terribly crazy plans this weekend. It's going to be kind of quiet, but I do intend to play more Subnautica because I'm getting back into that, and the multiplayer just changes the game in such a good way for me.
Did you happen to put anything on YouTube recently?
Oh, yes, I did. That's been popping off. Edge of Oblivion, my short film, is now publicly available to watch on my YouTube channel, which I shared in the Discord. And that is at like 3,760 views right now.
Nice.
It's doing pretty good.
Good for you. It's a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's great. So I'm glad that that's doing well for you, Logan. That's really wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So this week, I'll probably play a little bit more Halo Infinite if I get some time. And then hopefully some Expedition 33 as well. And then starting to figure out what the next break picks will be. I love that moment where Loose Cannon runs out of the GameStop and says that he has the last copy. That's the one thing I remembered from that video when I watched it again. Also, Jack looks a little irritated when I point the camera at him. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah.
But thank you for listening to the game show, and we'll see you same time next week.